Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Serena.
And I'm James.
And we are Life After Union, and today we are doing a little energy update for you guys. So watch this video to stay tuned into what's going on this week. Welcome back, guys. Thank you so much for being here today. If you haven't already, be sure to hit the like button, comment, and subscribe to our channel. You can also hit the notification bell to know when we have all of our new videos coming out. Once a week, usually we put out a video either talking about some sort of twin flame dynamic or relationship dynamic, and then we'd also do these energy update readings. So if you're looking for more of those, definitely hit the notification button. If you're looking for more one-on-one support, you can work with either one of us one-on-one. So the links are down below. You can find everything that you need. If you're looking for breaking karmic ties, which you guys have shown such an interest in, I was so happy with how the launch of my new ebook went really well. So thank you guys for that. So if you're looking for a free resource, you can check the link down below. This is my free ebook, Breaking Karmic Ties, and it is all about literally, as it sounds, breaking karmic ties.
Imagine that.
Getting rid of those energies in your life that are draining you. If you're in the twin flame dynamic, making sure that your energy is cut off from any people that are interrupting that dynamic, you know, all that good stuff. So there's plenty of resources in there for you. Today we are talking about a few different things because there's been some like really intense energy going on lately. You've been feeling it, I've been feeling it. So when we were talking about what video are we going to do today, I was like, let's actually just tap in and ask, you know, like what's going on for the collective. So if you guys are spiritual, you already probably have seen, I've seen on TikTok, I've seen on Instagram, I've seen on YouTube, all of this stuff about the 420 portal, and about the manifestations, and that this is a super powerful time because of the certain conjunctions going on astrologically right now, to be manifesting your desires. Now, neither one of us are astrologists. I like astrology, but I'm not an astrologer. So we deal more with like the archetypes or the energy or the feelings of what's coming up around now, rather than like tuning super into the astrology. So if what we're saying here is new to you and you want to look more into the astrology, definitely you're not going to find that from us.
Let us know your findings.
Yes, but let us know what you do find, or if you are an astrologer and you're watching this, let us know what's going on. I have my astrologer mentor who lives in Mexico, and he sent us some information on the different conjunctions. Well, there's something. We'll tend to that
That's
later.
2 cards.
Was it 2 right there?
Yep, the ones underneath my seat and face up.
So we have our 2 cards for today. They've already hopped out. But yeah, so essentially there's a lot of big stuff going on astrologically right now. We're still in Mercury retrograde. We're going to be coming out of Mercury retrograde and then going into, I think it's Pluto retrograde. But I had saw somewhere on TikTok that this is like the 1 week of time where we don't have a retrograde going on for like the rest of the year. And again, astrologers, you can let us know if that's actually accurate or what's going on with that. But regardless of what, like, you know, what we can dissect it as, we've been feeling some intense energies, and some good, some bad. A lot of it is like a mix. A lot of it is like potential that we can feel is around the corner, which is sometimes I think when you have potential around the corner, it can actually make things speed up, and it can make things feel a little bit more volatile because you can feel the impending like excitement and anxiety and like the future coming. Comment down below if you've also been feeling this. But yeah, even Bubba can feel it.
Good time.
So yeah, I mean, this is what we've been going through. So we will also want to know what you guys are going through. Keep in mind, we also do have a full moon coming up on the 24th, 23rd, 24th, depending on where you are time zone wise. Yes, Scorpio full moon. Hello to all of our other Scorpios out there. And so, yeah, this is meant to be a big one in terms of, like, it's the first full moon after the eclipses, so there's a potentially a lot of karmic stuff still moving through, still going on. We're still breaking a lot of these karmic cycles so that we can really begin anew. And so this is like an extra, almost like an extra integration period from the eclipse cycles. So that's kind of what we're going through now. And as you guys know, Scorpio is a feminine side. It's a water sign. So we can expect some emotions. We can expect some maybe changes in direction, some like need to flow or need to go inwards. Like those are the type of things we can be expecting for this week, especially with the full moon coming up. Should be fun. So let's see what's hopped out.
Which one you want? Front or back?
I can't see the other one, so I think I should have the one that I can see. Thank you very much.
It's my pleasure.
Okay, ready? Oh, wow, these both have to do with like movement. That's really interesting. Okay, so I got fancy footwork, and I actually just pulled this in a reading. If you're looking for a one-on-one reading, you can check the links below, but I actually just pulled this for someone in a reading literally last week, so we'll talk a little bit about what this means. And then what did you get? Runway walk.
Runway walk.
Yeah.
I'm strutting my stuff.
You're strutting your stuff. Well, that's really interesting for the Scorpio full moon too. Do you have something that's coming up right away, or do you want me to go first?
Well, the only thing I can really think of off the top of my mind with this right now, especially saying strutting my stuff, is obviously I've been recently doing a bit of extra carpentry stuff and building a deck, and I've been learning. I spent almost a full day just by myself doing little bits and bobs to the things I wanted to just do something in my own space. Yeah. So in that way, it was doing something that I wanted to do in my way without any pressure of having people around to tell what to do, and just to strut my stuff and just enjoy it. I had music going, and I just enjoyed every moment. It was a very easy thing to go through, and I think same thing with the full moon as well. There's a lot of things that are coming up from that. So it's an interesting card. It's one I have not pulled yet.
You've never pulled that
I have never pulled this one. So at first, when I first read it, I was like, I don't quite know how to explain this one. But that's off the top of my head the first thing that comes to me from that.
Yeah, so if you guys don't know, I actually created this card deck. I don't know if I've said that before on one of these videos.
You have indeed.
But I created this card deck. So interestingly enough, some background on that card specifically is, if you guys didn't know this, it has a peacock on it. And so essentially the male peacock is the only one that gets those bright, colorful feathers, right?
Yeah, the male is the bright, colorful one. The female is a bit dull and not as big. Right.
So when you think about that, you have this masculine energy, right, kind of stepping forward. Interestingly enough, with this card is, well, one, the deck you're making, it looks like a runway, kind of, because it's very narrow and kind of long. So,
yeah, and then it opens up at the end.
Yeah, so it's kind of funny because it does look like a runway.
Never thought of it that way. Yeah. And there's stairs leading up to it as well.
Yeah, so it is kind of funny on like multiple levels. But yeah, so the male bird is the one that gets all of this beautiful colors and the beautiful plumage and all of that kind of stuff. And so what this is saying is you have to go out and take the action and like not be afraid to show yourself off and show off your masculine side, right? We were talking about Scorpio being more of a feminine side, or more of a feminine sign, but that doesn't mean there isn't masculine or aren't male scorpions, right? Just like, you know, a cat is a very feminine animal, but there are male cats, right? And so I think this is kind of stating that even though we are in a time of like a feminine moon, that doesn't mean your masculine can't also then take the lead, right? And you can let that feminine sit back. And when you allow your masculine to take the lead, people will actually see you for who you are and see the clarity of that and see you doing your thing, you know, which I think is pretty cool. And
show off my deck.
Yeah, show off your deck. So the runway walk also, it's funny because you have walk and I have footwork. So both of these, I think we're having a lot come through right now about staying grounded, is what it feels like to me. Because if you're walking on the earth, you're being grounded. If you're dancing, you're doing fancy footwork, you're being grounded. So both of those things are movement, you know, which means you come away from the ground for a time, but then you come back to the ground. So I think we are looking at, you know, thinking about the root chakra at the bottom of the feet, even though, you know, like that's not technically where the root chakra lives, but you can imagine that also being an extension of your root chakra is the soles of the feet. And so paying extra special attention at this time to what the soles of your feet are doing. How are you carrying yourself, right? Are you carrying yourself proud? Are you kind of slinking away from things? Like, what's going on? Are you feeling yourself? Are you not feeling yourself? Like, what is that for you? And then, so fancy footwork. This is also a new one. We've not pulled this one on these readings.
Pulled that before outside of the readings.
Yeah. And
but
so
very rarely.
I also pulled this for a card reading that I did, and a twin flame reading that I did. And what was coming up for us in this reading, which was super funny, was like dancing around the problem. And so I think that's very accurate here. You know, so we've had some things coming up recently, which have been just like strange things. So if you guys also have been having strange things going on, know that you're like not alone. Because we had this beautiful protea that was in our like next door, so it's still on our property, but like next door to where we live, and it was an area we cleared out for our first, like our original house, and then we ended up building where we are now. But there was this beautiful king protea. Did you see the lightning flash in the background?
It's been going on the whole time.
So there's this beautiful king protea. If you guys don't know, this is you want to talk about it.
It's the national flower of South Africa.
Yeah. And it's very rare.
Yeah, I mean, we don't get them very common on here. We've got about 3 or 4 other types of proteas in our area, which you will see everywhere. I mean, there's one literally right outside our front door at the moment. But the king protea being our national plant, national flower, it's not something that we see very often, especially in the area that we're in. In other areas of the country, you do see them more regularly. But it has a lot of significance to us, and I mean, they really are beautiful, beautiful flowers.
I mean, they're like, you guys, they're like this big when they bloom. They're massive.
Awesome.
And they're very resilient. It was sad. Well, we haven't talked about it yet.
Yeah, I know. Still sad though.
But they're massive plants, and they're very resilient. They're very, like, in terms of flowers, they're not very dainty flowars. When you think about flowers, you think about soft petals. These are like hard. Intense. Like they could grow anywhere. You know, like they're very like hardy plants. And so we took this as a sign when we were originally clearing the land for our first house, because we were like, oh my God, we had no idea there was a freaking king protea on the property. And so we've been like kind of nurturing this thing, going and looking at it all the time, like taking pictures of it. And then last night we were having a family party, and someone had come by and said, oh, you know, like your protea is gone. And so we were like, what the heck?
Somebody snapped it off and took it home.
Yeah, somebody cut it down.
They didn't cut, they broke it. I went and looked.
Sheesh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know that. That's even more. So that really hurt our hearts, you know, and that was like, for us, it was like a symbol of hope. It was like a symbol of like divine timing. It was like a symbol of we are where we meant to be, like a home. It was like
such a special thing to find
as well. It was so special.
Especially in the wild.
Yeah, to see it like gone like that is super disheartening, you know, so it was something that really hit both of us quite hard. And then, you know, this morning you also had like kind of a morning where it was just like one thing after the next, after the next, after the next.
Small things just
like
pushing the wrong buttons.
Yeah. And so this is telling me that we're dancing around what the actual issues are, right? And we might be doing this at a collective level as well, or as a society level. Like, we know deep down that there are things going on in the system, in society, within our relationships, within our communications with others. We know that there are things going on there, but for so long we've been scared to actually address these things. And actually somebody that we met at the beach this morning is now coming to me in this reading. And she was so inspiring to me because she just spoke to whatever the awkward thing was in the moment. Like, so her and I were talking, and then we had kind of said goodbye to each other, and then you and her husband engaged in like another conversation.
We just kept chatting, waiting for you guys to finish, and you were chatting, waiting for us to finish.
So then her and I were like looking at each other, and then she like looks at her husband and she's like, okay, we've already said like goodbye like 3 or 4 times. And it was like this awkward moment, but because she spoke to it, and she spoke to it so quickly, it like cut out all the awkwardness. So it's like, there's this courage that we need right now. And it's not to dance around the problem. It's to actually speak to the things that are coming up. Yeah, to strut your stuff. To be seen, to be heard. And it's like, for so long, we've not been doing that. You know, we've been kind of keeping quiet to make other people feel comfortable, or to not cause any dysfunction or disharmony. That's a part of it. That's speaking up about what you're upset about, speaking up about what's not sitting right with you, especially like injustices in the world, or things that, you know, may come up between you and your twin. You know, putting words to that. You did a good job of that this morning, where that's not something you would normally do.
No, I'm not normally terrible at that.
And you did a really good job. And he was scared, I think, to tell me, because it was things that I had kind of done. You know, it was annoyances that I had put out there for you. And so you were like really hesitant to say what you were annoyed about. And then when you did, like,
well, so I knew you weren't feeling great this morning as well. And then I was just, you saw some things that annoying me, and I was like, ah. And I didn't want to like bring it up and make it something that it didn't need to be, but you then came to me and asked me, and then me being very out of character told you what was up in a very nice, easy way as well, I may add. It definitely helped. Yeah. And then just after that, I got something that came back to me as well, and then half an hour later, it went away.
Well, and so this is the thing, right? It's like, and I think maybe you thought I was going to overreact, or like I was going to not react well. So that also shows you that you can share yourself with me. You know, that you can actually speak up and you can actually say what's on your mind, and I will actually listen to you, and I will actually respond to you in a way that's not going to hurt you, you know? So that's also... Or vice versa. Yeah, or vice versa. Like, that's also, this is like realizing that when we do speak up, we do use our voice, the right people are going to hear you and respond to you. And if they aren't, right, then you have to ask yourself the deeper question of, who am I surrounding myself with? Do I want to keep surrounding myself with it? Is it worth the fight? Is it worth me being quiet? You know, like, and these are the questions that we're coming to, like, within ourselves, our relationships, our twin flame dynamics, and trying to understand, like, ourselves and the people that we want to make connections with on a deeper level.
Things that they constantly coming up, and you just have to deal with it. And by strutting yourself and being in yourself and showing who you are and what you have to offer, those things, it all comes together. And at the end of the day, there's not much more you can do than that, and you can't always control the outcome. I think that's one of the big things, is a lot of times when we worried that our partner or family or friends, whoever it may be, might not take it the way you want it to be taken, then therefore you're less active in doing it, which is not always the right way to do it. It's not necessarily the wrong way to do it, but by just being yourself and showing your true colors, you will actually get to probably in the better result at the end of the day.
Yeah. And this is a little side note. It's really not related, but it is. So this is a really powerful time. So going back to this being a super powerful time for manifestation, I was given this download like 2 days ago that we can actually program everything in our reality to help us and to work for us, right? So what I did is, you guys, I have this ring, and it has three different types of metal. It has a rose gold, a gold, and then a silver. And so each one of those represents each one of us. So I'm the gold, Claire's the rose gold, and James is the silver. So a few days ago, like a week ago, I programmed this ring, and I set the intention that whichever, like as you can see, it crosses over itself. And so it's moving all day long, like all the time, different ones are crossing over. And so I programmed it to be like, whichever one is on top, that's the one that needs my attention most at this time. And in the last week, you cannot imagine how much thinking this has saved me. Like, there's been times where I've been hungry, but Claire's needed something, and the rose gold one is on top. And I'm like, okay, I know I can wait. She needs something right now. Let me take care of her and then go to myself. When I confronted James this morning about him being upset about something, it was actually because his silver one was on top, and I was sitting outside and I was looking at my ring, and I was like, oh, the silver one's on top. Now, like, what should I do? And so I went over to him. I was like, is something wrong? And then that's what allowed. So program the things in your reality. Take control of your reality. Like, you are the creator. You are the one that gets to do all of these things. And everything should be working for you. You know, like your technology should be working for you. Your work schedule should be working for you. And even as small details as this, you can program anything. You can program the water you drink. You can program everything to support and nourish you.
You can program your wife.
Yeah, you can program her. She'll just talk all day long, you know?
Yeah, it makes my job that much easier. I just sit here and look pretty.
And so you know, this is just something that you can do to make your life easier. It's just to remember that you have that capacity to create that way in your life, and it will make your life easier. So that's all we have to say about that. If you guys have any questions, as per usual, put it down in the comments. We're happy to answer any questions. We really, really, really appreciate all the love and support we've been getting recently. We've just feel like, you know, we were nervous coming back on when Claire was born because I took so much time off. And it's so nice to know that this community is still here. You guys are still participating and it's growing. So that's super exciting. We just hit 2,000 followers, and for, you know, some channels that's like nothing, but for us, like, that was really
huge.
cool. Yeah, like that's a cool milestone. So we just want to say thank you guys.
Milestone.
Yeah, thanks for being here. Thanks for celebrating with us. Thanks for, you know, going through the motions with us. And we will catch you in the next video.
Bye.
Bye.